am I a happy girl or what this morning? There's 3 things that I really, really love. That's my Georgia food, my Georgia music, and my Georgia men. And you know what? I got all 3 in my kitchen this morning. So I'm cooking up my butternut squash casserole that's so good, it's gonna make Zac sing.
Pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio.
And Zac's gonna cook for us venison medallions with a feta dipping sauce. Baby, that doggone aunt. And pair that up, y'all, with a baked Vidalia onion, just dripping with morel butter. There is nothing better. And we're gonna finish it off with a rich, delicious butterscotch pie. Let me tell y'all who this precious young man is. This is Zac Brown, one of the hottest new stars in New South music. Tell everybody, hey, Zac.
Good morning.
Look how precious he is. And he's gonna be helping me out today, showing me some of his favorite recipes, starting with his baked Vidalia onion with morel butter. You're a cook from way back, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am. I love to cook, love to feed people. Everybody in my family cooks, and I was raised by 9 women, 7 sisters, a mom, and a grandmother, so I had to know what I was doing. And in order to spend time with my family, I had to be in the kitchen, because that's where they were.
I do too. And what is this you're cutting?
This is a morel. It's actually a wild mushroom, and it's native to Georgia, which I wanted the whole theme to be, you being a Georgia girl as well. Everything that we're doing today, you could harvest from the woods. So this is a really tasty mushroom, and so we're gonna fold it into butter, which I know is one of your good friends. And,
that sounds great. Well, what can I do to help you along?
You can take these Vidalia onions and wrap them up in aluminum foil nice and tight for us, so when we bake them, they'll steam nice in the
Okay,
in the
well,
foil.
now let me ask you, when I do my grilled or baked onions, I like quarter them almost to the root. Is that how you want me to do these, or just wrap them just like this?
Wrap them up whole, and after they get nice and caramelized and tender, we're gonna cut a nice little cone out of them and put that morel butter nice down inside of them and let it melt and go down in the onion.
Yes. In 1 layer of tin foil or 2?
I would do 2 in case the juices get out of there. You want
That's what I do too. All right, now you want me to get these in the oven for us?
Yes, ma'am. We're gonna do it 450 degrees, and for about 35 minutes, 35, 40 minutes.
Okay. I'll get these in the oven. Zac, what can I do next?
Why don't we take these, we're gonna put them over here, put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil in the bottom, and put these nice morels down in there just to tender them up a little bit. And then just put a little splash of white wine in them, and while you're doing that, I'm gonna start working on the feta dip.
Okay, that sounds great. Now, do you want me to slice up the rest of those?
Yes, please, that'd be great.
Okay. Well, let's swap.
Okay.
Let's do a dance.
Sounds good. You going that way?
I'm going that way. You going that way?
So we're gonna make up our feta dip now for the fried venison. So we're gonna start out with 8 to 10 ounces of feta cheese and an entire thing of sour cream. Just use the whole.
I like this boy. So, do you cook on the road?
I do, and my favorite thing to do, anytime we have a business meeting or anything like that, I'm more comfortable in the kitchen or behind a microphone than I am just kind of sitting around a party. Like, it's kind of awkward just to mill around for me. So I always like to be doing something. So what we always do is wherever we have meetings, we'll show up, and whoever kitchen will host it. I'll bring groceries and I'll cook for everybody.
Okay, so you don't cook on the bus?
I don't own the bus yet. There's 13 big hairy guys on the bus right now, sleeping on there, and I'm gonna take some garlic, about a teaspoon or so.
How's that for olive oil? How much that?
That's beautiful right there. Just enough to get them softened up and get that flavor pulled out of them a little bit.
Okay. So your dad travels with you?
He does. He travels.
How wonderful is that?
It's great. My dad is one of my heroes, one of my favorite people in the world, one of my best friends. So.
Doesn't get any better than that, does it?
No, ma'am. He's my hero. Now, we're just gonna take some fresh dill. Dill's great to kind of freshen up anything that's real heavy and creamy and stuff like that. Chop that up nice and fine.
So you're adding about 2 tablespoons of chopped dill, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sauteing our chopped morels. We're using about ½ a cup.
Now a little salt and pepper.
So how do these look, Zac?
That looks beautiful.
Okay, I'm gonna cut them off then.
So I've folded in some feta cheese with the sour cream and dill and garlic and a little salt and pepper.
That took you 2 seconds to whip it together.
It's really easy. Yeah.
How much wine do I put in here?
Just a little splash.
Not much.
Perfect.
Okay, good.
That's perfect.
So not much, just enough to let it sweat.
That's right.
In that liquid. Okie doke. Well, I tell you what, I think I'm gonna turn this over to you.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go down there and do my squash, okay?
Let's do it.
Y'all, butternut squash kind of reminds me of rutabagas. Do you love rutabagas?
I do love rutabagas.
I adore rutabagas. But I swear to Pete, you need a man in the kitchen, because they're like as hard as these countertops. And this butternut squash has that same texture.
Why don't you take hold of the onion and I'll do that?
You got a deal, Lucille. Now, while I give this onion a rough chop, Zac is gonna peel and quarter the butternut squash for us. All right, so I got my onion done. How are you coming on that squash?
Coming along good. She's doing good for me.
I'm throwing the onions in my pot, and Zac is removing the seeds from our squash. Y'all don't go anywhere, because we're gonna see just how good this guy is in the kitchen. Coming up, we're gonna start blending up my butternut squash casserole and frying up those venison medallions. I love it.
Good, thank you, Del.
And our Vidalia onions come right out of the oven. There is nothing better than a Vidalia onion, y'all.
That was good.
And finally, it's my butterscotch pie, y'all. You deserve the whole pie. I so hope y'all are enjoying the show. And if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break. All right, y'all, we got our butternut squash and our onions all cooked until they're tender.
It smells so good.
Doesn't it smell good? Have a taste. All right, now what we're gonna do, Zac, is we're gonna cream it.
Okay.
And we're gonna need 3 eggs. So you just pick up my little mixer.
Yes, ma'am.
And you just beat the heck out of it.
All right, ready to start it?
I'm ready. Now, Zac, beat up that squash real good while I get our eggs going. I'm gonna sweeten up our butternut squash by adding ½ a cup of coconut milk. Now I'm gonna add 1½ teaspoons of curry powder. I'm gonna add a little salt, a little cracked black pepper. Isn't that a beautiful color?
I love curry, and I haven't been into it that long, but the last 2 or 3 years, anytime I get to get some good Thai food, I really love it. I love the coconut and the curry together.
I do too. Now I'm just gonna pour this into your butternut squash, so you just keep a beating. Now we're gonna just put it in our casserole dish, Zac.
Okay.
And I've sprayed it with a nonstick spray. So you just pour that in there, and now I'm gonna measure out ½ a cup of raisins, and I'm gonna use ½ a cup of coconut. And I'm just using a flaked coconut. And you know what? I think I used all my bowls. So, you know what? Ooh, that pan's hot. Just mix them together. And now, ooh, this is a cast iron pan. It's heavy as lead. All right, so we're just gonna sprinkle that on top. Ooh, doesn't that look good? So now we're gonna bake this, y'all, at 350 for about 40 minutes. And while this is baking, Zac is gonna be over there in front of the stove, honey, strutting his stuff. So how does that look, y'all? Yummy, doesn't it?
I think our onions are just about done.
That sounds great. If you wanna stick that in there, Zac, I'll take your onions. Okie doke. 40 minutes, 350 degrees. Okay, so let's get started on those fried venison medallions. This is a venison tenderloin, just like the tenderloin on a piece of beef, only not as big.
If you'll just get my wet ingredients and my dry ingredients together, I like to dredge with buttermilk.
I do too.
It feels more southern to me.
I do too.
Than an egg wash. So we'll just go ahead and pour you about a good,
Okay.
½ an inch in the bottom of there.
Okie doke. Love cooking with buttermilk.
Perfect.
All right, so how much mustard do you want me to add?
Just take one of those big old scoops full right there and put it in
About like
there.
that?
Yes, ma'am.
About a tablespoon.
And just kind of stir it in there. I'm gonna take one of these tenderloins and go ahead and start slicing it. What I like to do too is to slice it against the grain a little bit. So slice at an angle so it'd be nice and tender, but any kind of tenderloin is gonna be nice and tender.
Look at this, y'all. Venison is such a lean meat. So tell me what to put in the dry.
In the dry, I'd say about around 2 cups of flour, but just coat you a good casserole pan in the bottom with your flour.
Okie doke.
And
this is some kind of fancy salt.
that's some gray salt. It
Gray
comes from France.
salt.
It's hand harvested and it's just a pure sea salt. Go ahead and salt it. Put you 2 or 3 good pinches in there, and then we're gonna take some dry mustard powder and put it in there. I'd say a little less than a quarter of a cup or so. That's perfect right there. Go ahead and put your little bit of cayenne in there just for a little bit of heat afterward. You don't want to make it spicy, but even people that don't like spicy food like a little cayenne at the end of it, like a little.
Okie doke. All right, so is that it?
Always got to use black pepper. Got to have a little taste of that in there.
Okie doke. And you know what? You ain't sang me not the first tune. Do a little tune for me.
You know I like my chicken fried, and cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio up. Something like that.
I love that.
Hopefully we'll get to play it for you here in a minute.
Oh, gosh, I hope so. Out of all the arts, I want to sing so badly. And you know what? I got my wish. I sing so badly. All right, a little olive oil.
I like to use olive oil because it's just nice and clean and light, and you wanted to have enough to fry it in there a little bit. My granny used to fry in lard, and it tastes really good, but your arteries don't love it.
I love your granny. All right, well, you ready to get to frying?
I'm ready, let's do it.
I'll switch places with you, honey.
Okay.
Because you're in charge of the frying pan. So I'm just gonna put it all in there.
There you go, let's do it.
Till you scream at me. And we're just gonna marinate our meat in the buttermilk just for a bit to soak up a little extra flavor. But in the meantime, I'm gonna get started mixing up the morel butter for those baked Vidalia onions.
Just fold in the morels that we sauteed up earlier. Got them nice and the flavor pulled out of them. You got them room temperature now, and you got the butter at room temperature. Just take them and fold them into the butter until it's all mixed up nice. And we're gonna lay that out on a wax paper and roll it up.
We have 3 sticks of butter for 3 onions.
You can always put it in a Ziploc bag and put it in the freezer.
So we're not gonna use it all on those 3.
We're not gonna use a stick per onion. It'd have to be a big old onion.
That would have to be a big onion. Down comes my butter. Is that about the size you like your logs?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm gonna stick this in the freezer, Zac.
All right.
Okie doke.
That is looking good.
How are you coming?
Doing good. Looking
I
good.
love it.
Looking good. Thank you, darling.
Coming up, it's my butterscotch pie, y'all. Doesn't that look good? And later, Zac's gonna sing for his supper. Get it, boy, get it! I hope y'all are enjoying the show, and I want to hear from you. Tell me what recipes or videos you'd like to see me make by just leaving a short comment below. Now, let's get back to the show, y'all. Zac, I can't hardly wait to taste everything. We took our venison medallions out of the fryer and we drained them on some paper towels. Now, are we gonna...
These are our Vidalia onions that are caramelized.
Oh my goodness. Let's leave them in the foil. You want to?
That sounds good to me.
To keep that juice, let that be our little bowl.
Get that nice caramelized,
Oh,
just like
honey, I so
onion
see
syrup.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So you're gonna take the paring knife and now
You want to grab our morel butter that we put up?
I got it in the freezer. Ooh, and my goodness, it didn't take it long.
Oh, yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take these, I cooked them right in the skin, so what I'm gonna do is just take a paring knife and I'm just gonna work it in a nice little triangle here.
Look at
And while
that
these are still
butter, y'all.
And while these are still nice and warm, you just kind of make it where you got a nice little lid in there.
Ooh.
Open it up.
I love it.
So.
There is nothing better than a Vidalia onion, y'all.
That is good.
Well, I'm gonna get our butternut squash out. Oh gosh, it's heavy.
We'll cut a piece of our morel butter off and take it and just seed it in there nice. Put it in there, and when that onion's nice and warm, it'll just blend together.
Yes.
All right. Want to, for serving reasons, put your little hat back on.
Oh, how cute is that? All right, now I'm gonna get us some of our venison tenderloin. This is just like fit for a king. Well, I'm ready to eat.
All right.
Ooh, look at that venison, y'all. See, it's still got a little pinky to it. You didn't like overcook it. You didn't like
you can't dry it out.
It's out of this world. The cayenne is now coming to life in my throat.
Make you want to keep on eating it.
It's delicious. It really is. Look at this. Look at that, y'all.
Will that hunt?
It'll hunt, baby. That dog will hunt. Dig into that casserole. Is it good?
That is insanely good. Just want to put a piece of this in my pocket. Take it with me.
All right, well, listen, now you keep eating. But if I don't move down here to this pie, we ain't gonna have no dessert. I'm gonna cook you up a butterscotch pie. So now I'm gonna put in 1.5 cups of packed brown sugar, Zac, 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, about 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and now I'm just gonna mix that together, and we're cooking these over medium heat. And now I'm gonna slowly add 4 cups of milk to it. And I'm gonna cook it until this gets thick. And then once that happens, I'm gonna add some eggs. Ooh, look at that, y'all. So stinking good.
Yeah.
Coming up, Zac serenading me in the kitchen, y'all.
You know I like my chicken fried. Cold beer on a Friday night.
And his reward is a big old bite of butterscotch pie. I so hope y'all are enjoying the show. And if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break. He's serenading me in the kitchen, y'all. How good does this get? Now I'm making Zac a butterscotch pie. Now I've got all of our mixture cooked and it's nice and thick, so I'm just gonna temper those eggs, Zac. And I've beaten 2 egg yolks here. And then back into the saucepan it goes. And that's gonna make this real custardy and rich. So I'm just gonna let that cook just for a couple of minutes. Now before I chill this, there's just 2 more things that I need to add. And that would be a little butter, a couple of tablespoons of butter, and about 2 teaspoons of vanilla flavoring. And that's it. I'm just gonna put this in the fridge and let it chill. Now I'm gonna take our already chilled filling and fill up our pie shell. Doesn't that look good? And before you start singing, I'm gonna just add 1/4 cup of butterscotch morsels to 1 cup of heavy cream that I whipped with 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. So you hit it, baby.
All right, let's do it. You know I like my chicken fried. Cold beer on a Friday night. A pair of jeans that fit just right. And and the radio. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, I was raised up beneath the shade of a Georgia pine, and that's home, you know. Sweet tea, pecan pie, and homemade wine, where the peaches grow. In my house, it's not much to talk about, but it's filled with love that's grown in southern ground, and a little bit of chicken fried, and cold beer on a Friday night, a pair of jeans that fit just right, and the radio. I like to see the sunrise, see the love in my woman's eyes, feel the touch of a precious child, and know a mother's love. Well, ain't it funny how it's the little things in life that mean the most? Not where you live, what you drive, or the price tag on your clothes. I'm gonna have to take a break here for a second.
Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if y'all enjoyed this week's full episode Friday, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, friends.